My bad.
We
Five,
good.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, I feel like for this podcast, you should have counted from 1 to 5.
Cut. Pod. Done. It should have been 10, actually, but yeah.
The way this podcast ended is the way this podcast also began. So
Uh-huh.
we're starting and ending at the same time, my friend. Jair,
Yep.
how are you doing today?
Soy muy bien.
Okay, all right. I'm doing just fine too as well. There have been no problems all day. There have been no issues. I've been looking forward to this podcast. We have put this
Yep.
podcast off for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
More homework had to be done. More watchings had to be had.
Yes.
Tenet, my friend. That is what we're doing tonight.
Yes. Tenet.
We'll get into the actual parts of the movie, of course, with our unique formula, and then we'll break that down for the people. But first and foremost, my friend, it's a Thursday night. What you doing? What you sipping on?
Thirsty Thursdays remain undefeated.
This is true.
Absolutely. Uh, we like villains on this pod.
We do.
Uh, with Andre Sater being the main villain here,
Hey.
his drink of choice was vodka.
Mm-hmm.
It is cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's frigid. He is a cold villain.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Belvedere. I'll show you the black and gold, the unfiltered, the special Belby. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's delicious, by the way. It's amazing. Um, it's delicious. What more can I say?
Yep. Hey, Andre in the New Russia. Like he was sitting down having vodka with our friend, the protagonist. Myself, I went a little bit different. Went a little bit different. I too have a black and gold bottle,
Mm,
but I went with the Johnny Walker double black. Now the reason I went with this and not vodka because I was heavily leaning to the vodka, but it is so cold outside up here in Maryland. It is ridiculous tonight. The wind is blowing. The chill that comes with that. It was already cold to begin with. Dude, I had to go with the brown. You know how I am,
oh
man.
yeah.
You know how I
You
am.
know, we both love the brown in the winter, but I was thinking, because it's cold, like Russia, they drink vodka no matter
Yeah.
what.
I know. I
So
tried,
that's
man.
that's
I
what I was going
tried.
with. No, I don't blame you. I thought about it
Yeah.
too. I had the brown in my hand. I was like, I'll go with the Belvedere, man.
Oh man.
It might as well.
I thought about it, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. So yeah. I'm with the brown, baby, but the brown has never let me down.
Brown is undefeated.
Cheers to you. All right.
Cheers.
So let's get to it. Um for anyone new, recurring listeners, regardless, you know the phone we go with as far as the movies, we like to break things down and we like to give our thoughts on it. This is not we do a little bit theorizing on here too as well with the movies. We'll explain movies too as well as best to our knowledge. This movie's was extremely different, and I'm gonna explain what that different means. But first, let's reintroduce the formula that we go with. So we have the all the lights category, best action scene, best comedic scene, best drama scene. We have the controverse category where we take a look at the best supporting actor or actress, best supporting line, and the best outstanding featuring scene from obviously a featuring actor or actress. The score, we talk about the best soundtrack moment and which record outside of the movie sounds like the movie. We'll explain that when we get to it. The last call category, iconic Kodak moment. How has the movie aged? And would you want a sequel? Now, we understand this movie just came out, but we still ask these questions regardless after every single movie we've seen. Now, recently, Jaya, we've been doing a lot of old movies. It's been a while since we did something new and recent. This movie's been out for a while. It's been out for a couple months, but it's something we have to get used to, especially with HBO Max doing what it's doing this year in
Yep.
2021.
Yep.
And we plan on touching and hitting on every single HBO Max movie this year. The
Yes.
Little Things,
Yep.
Godzilla Kong,
Yep.
Matrix, everything. So
Yep.
this is the first of an album, as you could say, the HBO album.
Mhm.
So looking forward to it, my friend. Can I ask you this? What were your thoughts and what is Tenet to you? What did this movie mean to you? What did you think of the overall story of this particular movie?
The first time I didn't know what to think. I walked out of the theater. Actually, I went in the theater. Actually, it was empty.
Oh,
You had to
really?
reserve our tickets. Yeah.
Talk
And
about that. I'm curious.
well, I'm from the south, so they're a little more lenient with the COVID protocol.
Hey,
And Tenet had been out for a little bit, and uh, I was off that day. I think it was a Friday or something, whatever. And I looked online, and it was one of those where you can reserve your tickets in advance. And I saw like this theater was empty. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go check it out. And sure enough, it was empty. Reserved seating, all that. And I remember walking in, and I was like, this is definitely a Christopher Nolan movie off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then I walk out the movie. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't know if I love this movie, if I hate this movie. I don't know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and watching it a second time, I enjoyed it much more than the first time, when you can stop thinking about the movie and just enjoy the action for what it is. Because there's
Right.
some amazing action scenes in this movie.
How many times have you seen this movie now?
Three. This is my third time.
I've seen it 3 times too.
Yeah.
So, well, not 3 times two. That'd be six, but I've seen it 3 times also. Let
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
clean that up here. And
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse
Comma
the movie.
T-O.
Yeah, this movie's already confusing enough. I ain't trying to confuse the people.
It is confusing. It
I
definitely
apologize.
is.
Yeah. All right. For me, Tenet was I mean, the first time I watched it, I was like, I love it. And I don't know if I like it at the same damn time. Like I just didn't understand how I felt. I watched the second time. I'm not gonna lie to you. The second time, I was like, I just can't do this right now. I just maybe it was me the day. I was like, this is too much for me. Too much. Watched it again today. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more.
Mhm.
Definitely enjoyed it a lot more. I got to actually appreciate the acting of this movie a lot more. Like when like NFL players, especially especially quarterbacks that are the good ones, they say the game's gotten a lot slower for me.
Mhm.
Well, it's the same thing with this movie too, as well. The movie's gotten slower for me. I can sit there, watch it, and understand. Now I'm hearing it from the third time. It's like, oh, I get that. Ooh, I didn't see that first.
Right. Right.
Um, YouTube videos also help to explain the movie a little bit more, get a little
Yeah.
more
Going
depth.
online.
Because
Yeah.
the first time I watched it, I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell is going on, except for they're going back, forth, back, forth. Spoiler alert, the victory at the end, and then go from there.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
with everything I was able to read on it, especially print too as well, I'm able to. I don't have the movie down 100%, but I have it to I feel like a good enough point where we could do this podcast.
I have it to where I think the culture has it. I think that's good enough right now.
And you know what? We live in the moment,
We
man.
live in the
So
culture. Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
and if you don't
Yeah.
like it, you can place the thing back in reverse and see the thing, see what we messed up there. All right, you ready to get to it?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. I guess well, for now, this of course, this is for everyone that's seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, I recommend you go watch it, then come back to it.
Please.
So
Massive
absolutely.
spoilers.
100%. This isn't a breakdown of the movie, but it is a breakdown of the movie. If that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yes.
All right, all the lights category. What's your best action scene?
The opera and the intro is amazing. I have to go with the tarmac airplane scene. It is so fucking amazing. And the first time, uh, one of the things I liked about this movie is the dialogue is really, they're doing something. They're going to the airport. They're driving and talking. There's action going as they're trying to explain the sequence of events. It's almost like if you've seen The West Wing, where they're talking down all the aisles of the White House. It's fast moving. It's pacing. There's no time to like breathe.
Which tarmac scene?
The first.
Okay, okay.
So they talk about it. He's like, "You want to crash a plane?" For those that don't know, that is an actual aircraft. That is not CGI. That is an actual plane. They did the math and they figured, it's cheaper to buy a damn plane and crash it than to do it full CGI. So Christopher Nolan, who absolutely adores um, live action stunts and sequences,
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Uh, that is an actual plane, and you can tell with the camera angles. You can tell that it's on the wing. It's almost like a GoPro. I'm sorry for the movie nerds out there. Whatever. There's like a camera on like the wing. There's a camera on like the flight deck, and then there's a camera set within the terminal itself. And you can tell by the angles, like that is a live fucking shot. That is ridiculous. This man is literally crashing a plane, no Survivor style.
Mm-hmm.
Utterly ridiculous. Let me backtrack. They're talking about the sequence like, yo, you want to crash a plane? They're doing the breathing thing. They're practicing the breathing as they're talking. I like that a lot. It's amazing as they're practicing. They got like the Pentagon terminal blueprint out. They're discussing it. They're trying to figure it out, Mission Impossible style. And they have Neil talking to um, like the tarmacs, the representative, whatever, and they're talking through
Liaison,
the
something like
plans.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the liaison, whatever. They're talking through it, and you see like Neil's point of view. Okay, there's a camera there. There's a camera there. Okay, what's my escape plan? Like he's interrogating, getting information in such a seamless, smooth manner. It's incredible. And so then they finally do it, and a plane fucking crashes into the tarmac. Very soon. Best action scene, excuse me.
I'm gonna take that to the next scene, the protagonist versus the protagonist for me, because I love that airplane scene. So this is the scene following up to it.
Mhm.
So at first you see the protagonist, John David Washington.
Mhm.
He's trying to fight against a armed guard in guard gear, the old riot gear, the helmet, all that. And the way they're fighting is that he's fighting, but the other guy is moving in a certain way. You're like, he's not actually, it is like he's trying to fight him, but he is fighting off of him.
Yeah.
It's just weird to watch it. And the whole entire scene of that is confusing. Then you have Neil too as well, who chases down one of the you find that they're inverted, these individuals, and he chases down one of them, and he grabs the helmet off of him and immediately runs away. So you see that, you're like, oh, okay, there's something there.
Mhm.
But back to the action of it, the choreography. There it is. Thank you. It's absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
The way he's moving like backwards as far as the same time, John David Washington move forward, and of course we said spoiler, but they're both the protagonist, John David Washington.
Mhm.
But you know that at the time. I mean, you can think about it, but you didn't really know that. So when the scene came the second time around, and you saw it from the protagonist's point of view, when he was in the riot gear, the guard gear, you saw he was trying not to really fight himself. He wasn't trying to like lay the kill shots to him.
Right.
And it's just amazing how that whole thing went around. So to me, that was my favorite action scene. Actually, it's funny because I actually have the airplane crash up here too as well. The whole thing with
the whole
that
thing is incredible.
But
that whole sequence is like together.
yes, I'm saying, yeah, because I have the airplane crash and the fight between the protagonist and protagonist. So
it's just 45 minutes of nonstop action. It's incredible. The I think back to the when the protagonist, our main actor, who's literally, by the way, titled the protagonist, we're not just saying that because we're lazy. That is his name.
That is his name.
That is his name. We're not being lazy. The protagonist is talking to the not the medical doctor, but she's in the lab coat and they're doing the video and they're first showing like the gun bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And how she's like, you have to pick it up and the bullet, and then it shows the camera of it. And you're like, what the fuck? But there's a really important line that said is, don't try to understand it, just feel it. I think it's a really important line. So when you get to that fight action sequence, you're like, I kind of get it. I just try to, instead of trying to comprehend it, I just try to enjoy the action sequence because it's phenomenal. When have you ever seen a scene like that? Never.
And you know what? Have you heard a theory around her?
What's that?
That this is just a theory of the movie, and I'll go ahead and you brought her up. She's actually the scientist that created the algorithm to actually invert all of time that they refer to in the movie.
I can believe that. Does she not even know it yet?
Well, she doesn't realize she actually invented it. She knows about it, obviously, but as time goes on,
yeah,
she realizes she actually invented it, and then she's when actually off herself and then sent everything she's one that had the algorithm with the 9 artifacts that scattered all across the world, like some Dragon Ball Z shit. But she's the one that actually she's the one that actually created the algorithm in the future. But that's just a theory of the movie. It's a whole bunch of theories in the movie. I'll drop them as time goes on.
That's one of the things about Christopher Nolan movies that allows it to live on is there's theories, and then when you watch it the next time, sometimes you're like, that theory kind of lands. I like that theory.
Like Inception.
Inception.
With the spin top.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, for everyone out there, we're going to refer to a lot of other Christopher Nolan movies that have already dropped too as well. So please, spoiler alert on everything Nolanverse, because I have a few things that I would definitely say at the end of this podcast.
I'll give you a spoiler. I'll let you know if it's something big for the audience.
Same here.
Yeah. Outside
Best,
of Tenet.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Best comedic scene for
Can we
me.
go back to the opera house though? We have to talk about that scene.
Oh yeah, for sure. Please go on.
Oh my god, that scene. Nobody does intros. I mean, like Christopher Nolan. I mean, holy fuck, this is incredible. You have an opera house, literally James Bond style. Who something that Christopher Nolan draws on a lot here is a James Bond 2021 kind of feel to it. You see the people with the they gas the whole place. Everyone gets knocked out. You're like, you hear the soundtrack. You're like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. It's just an incredible sequence. We see Neil at the beginning and the end. They do that connection when we see the red tag on his backpack, telling him you don't have to kill these people. It's just an incredible action sequence. And then the cinematography of the two trains going in symmetrical places, just absolutely like it grabs your attention immediately. I'm in this movie, loved it, absolutely loved the intro.
And you know, it's one thing crazy about that too, as well, is that as soon as I was watching, you said that I'm in a Christopher Nolan movie. Like honestly, that scene I felt like at some point Batman's going to swing down and start beating motherfuckers up. Like it just has that's why we call it the Nolanverse, because all of his movies shot with the same camera, they have all the same feel.
Yeah.
Multiple characters are doing multiple things in it.
The
Great
soundtrack,
acting, exactly everything. It just feels like at one point Bruce Wayne will walk in and he'll take down every single goon in there. But at the same time, John David Washington, the protagonist, is doing his thing with the CIA.
Yeah.
So it just blends in so well together. So I'm glad you brought that whole opera scene up. Also, when the gas went out and everybody immediately just went out, I was like, okay.
The stakes are raised. It's real.
So they put the seatbelt on. I'm ready. I'm ready now.
Incredible.
So yeah.
I'm blessed to have some sound speaker system in this house. I saw it in the movie theater. It's a surreal hearing the audio and the subwoofer, just like the subwoofer is created for this movie. Like when you buy the big ass TV, the expensive ass sound system, like it's for this movie. Like this is the reason why you bought all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just incredible. Please do not watch this on your laptop. Please do not watch this on your cell phone. Do not watch it in like the guest room, man. If you can, make sure to watch it in the main attraction of your house. It's incredible.
And also, I have some things to say about the sound quality of this movie too, as well. But
there are some. Yeah,
I will save that for the score. I'll save that for the score. Best comedic scene, if I can go first,
please.
So, Alfred, or better known as movie Sir Michael.
I hate you. You live in a Twilight world.
Hey, no friends at dust, no friends at dust. Ain't they what they say back?
Yeah.
Alfred, we talked to the protagonists, and they have the lunch, whatnot. Maybe you have a different part of this scene too as well. There are several comedic scenes just in here, this woven in. But for me, it's I had to write this down word for word. Alfred says to the protagonist, "No offense, in this world where someone's claiming to be a billionaire, Brooks Brothers won't cut it."
That's pretty good. It's really good.
I was like, yes. I had a chuckle, I had to laugh a little bit. In this movie, the stakes are raised high, but that little bit of comedy is needed, and he's absolutely right too as well. And then also immediately after that, he gives him the black card, tell him don't worry about the price.
Hey,
I want to take care of yourself, baby. I love
absolutely.
it. Love it.
Prefer the term African American Express.
Hey,
last call on here. Yeah, it's great, and of course, Alfred's only in this for this scene, so he's like, I'm gonna go all in. He always kills it. Even in Inception, he's in just like one or two scenes, and he does this thing. I will refer to him as Alfred. My favorite. It's the same scene. You British don't have a monopoly on snobbery,
Ooh.
Well, not a monopoly, more of a controlling interest. It's that British humor that is like, yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know I'm a little cocky. So what?
Super dry.
It's accepting of it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Great scene.
Also, you could throw in the waiter that was acting real. He was acting real snobbish.
The waiter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple scenes there.
They're referring to the when he meets Kat and he gets ganged up on. He's like, man, I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago.
Yeah. In the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a funny one too as well. Then he whooped everybody's ass.
Yeah, he did. The protagonist is a badass. You love to see it.
Man, you love to see it.
And I like in the next scene, like his suit, he goes from like Brooks Brothers to like Tom Ford.
Oh,
Like,
quickly.
like he looked clean before, but now it's like, yo, I need to buy that suit. Like I gotta.
But for a trained eye, if you were paying attention, you could see the quality difference.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you could definitely see the
Oh,
quality.
it pops. It's different.
Like when you said Brooks Brothers, I was like, oh, that's why.
It hurt a little bit.
Right. Yeah,
yeah. And then the next scene,
quick. I was like, oh,
yeah. And the next scene, he looks like extra fly. You're like, damn, I need that fit.
I need that black card, or
Yeah.
like you say, like Ye said, that African American Express.
Hey,
Brains, power, and hustle, like Dane, Puffy, and Russell. All right, best drama scene. What you got?
let's see what I got here. Apologies, I got excited when he was rapping the last call.
I could have kept going, but
Hey,
I chose.
it's a great record.
Yeah.
The chorus is so good too. When the credits. All right, moving on. It's Sater and Kat, and Kat wants to kill him, and Sater looks into her eyes and says, "You pushed me off a boat. You are not going to shoot me in cold blood. My boat's not cold, Andre. No, but you're not angry enough, because anger scars over into despair. I look into your eyes. I see despair." It's just a great scene where Kat just isn't quite ready yet to pull the trigger, and Sater continues his manipulative dominance as the villain of this movie, and he kills it as an actor in that scene.
And they come back to play that scene off too as well.
Yes, they do.
Like
It's a great build-up.
It came back full circle, or went back full circle. So I mean, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
For me, it was the protagonist versus Sanjay and Priya. When he first they bungee jump up. They bungee jump.
Oh, it's
up
such a great scene.
On the oh my god, so iconic from the trailer too as well. When they bungee jump up on the building, and they of course take down the guards with ease, and he gets the he gets the husband on the ground, who Sanjay, who he thinks is the one running it, just based off his intel. Trying to find out it's actually Priya that's behind the husband that actually runs everything, and they get the information as far as Andre in the first place. But the drama built up. Both of them were so cool. The protagonist and Sanjay. My friend, you have a gun to me. I'm not the one they send me to make deductions or reason with people. I'm the one that takes a kill shot. And then they're pretty much just talking back and forth, real cool, calm. Then of course Priya comes in, is like, "Hey, I'm the one you want to talk to." Essentially, Sanjay, go make him a drink. And then from there they had the conversation. But she's a villain, and he's a protagonist. But they're sitting there, and they don't really know too much of each other. But information need to gather from each other what the next plan is. So at that time, they're somewhat working together. And then later in the movie, we see that they how the relationship ended with a bullet from the protagonist to Priya.
Well, that's perfect, because in the beginning, once he takes the suicide pill and the CIA agent is waiting for him, he said, "All I have for you is a word, TENET." And he does the gesture thing. But he says this is going to open the right doors, and it's also going to open some wrong ones.
Right.
And we kind of see that along the journey with the protagonist, which is really dope to watching a second time to really see this movie. Yeah, it's great.
And it opened doors every single step of the way.
Yep.
Like when Andre's ready to kill him at dinner, he found a way to open the door too as well.
Absolutely.
I can pretty much help you find the another piece of the algorithm. All right, well, I'll see you at the docks.
There it is. That dock scene was weird, by the way. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I have something else about that too as well, but it has nothing to do with the scene. It's something to do with something totally different with that. But
beautiful scene though. Like, man, I gotta move to
my god,
wherever they're at.
Oh my, that's that fuck you money for real.
That is.
Let's crank up more podcasts, baby. All right, we're moving on. Control versus category. Jair, what is your best supporting actor or actress?
I have two, so I'm gonna let you go first.
I could have two, but I went with I know sometimes we bend the rules for us, and that's fine. I just went with one. Robert Pattinson, Neil. First of all, Robert Pattinson, fuck Twilight. He is an amazing actor. I'm gonna get a little bit off topic here, but Rover, The Lost City of Z, The Lighthouse, It's the movies he's done recently. Go check him out. Go watch him. The man's a hell of an actor. He's, I mean, the Batman too as well.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen the trailer by now, go watch the goddamn trailer. It's on YouTube. The Batman. The man is an amazing, amazing actor. And if you know him just from Twilight, I feel no. He's in so much indie work. And this is a few movies I mentioned. This movie too as well. Tenet. An outstanding performance. What can I say? From the moment he shows up on the scene, he sits down in the suit right next to John David Washington, the protagonist. They have a little back and forth. You can see that just the subtleties in his acting, the hand gestures, the face movements, the body movements. He'll take I'll take a vodka and tonic. He'll have what do you say? Diet goddamn, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, something like that.
Yeah.
And then just a little back and forth. Immediately, you see the chemistry between the two, and it builds the whole entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Without that chemistry, this movie, it was tough. But they have such great chemistry together. Also, just give a little shout out to someone else too as well. My man Aaron Johnson, Ives, another amazing actor too as well. I loved him since his Kick-Ass days. We was doing those movies, so been a huge fan of his. Also, Quicksilver from the MCU. Just to tie that off for people that don't realize that. Absolutely amazing. Love the acting. I'll watch the movie just for them.
One of my favorite lines is to your point when they're ordering the drink. I prefer soda water. No, you don't.
Yeah.
And he does the smile. He does the George Clooney Ocean 11 thing. He'll say a really smooth line that kind of stings a little bit, but not too much. It's reserved, and then have like the smile on it. Like, I got you, motherfucker. Like, all at the same time. His acting is brilliant. I didn't watch any of those movies. All I knew was Twilight, and I didn't watch that. And one of the funny things is when they reference Twilight with Neil's character. He is brilliant in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, he is absolutely brilliant. He does the charming British, not too serious, smart, reserved, gentleman-like character. And he is just utterly incredible. And I remember seeing when he did the "No You Don't" with the soda water, I was like, "Oh, this boy can act." And then I thought about Batman. I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm in."
Yeah, Robert Pattinson's one of he's man. I'm up like this. I mean, he may be top 5 dead or alive as far as actors.
It's a bold statement.
I'll stand by it right now. I stand by. I have no problem with that. Well, the man's a chameleon. The man's a chameleon, dude. Yeah. And if you haven't seen the man's work, I don't want to hear from you. I've already seen his Twilight. Get out of here. Go watch the man's work and come back to me.
He is brilliant. I don't think too many actors could have did what he did in this movie in terms of playing that role. And he is just absolutely brilliant. I have Kat. Excuse me while I pull this up.
Oh, Elizabeth Debicki?
Yeah, Elizabeth Debicki. Yeah, that's right. As Kat. I think it's great. She has she's trying to figure out how to be a survivor in this world. One of the things I do like about this movie is if you watch Mission Impossible, they do the camera angle to where like Tom Cruise always looks taller or even height with someone else. Mm-hmm. Even though Tom Cruise is 5'8".
Yeah, he's right? Small guy. Yeah,
he's small.
Maybe 5'6". He's short.
Yeah, he's small. He's small. They do not hide away from Kat's height in this movie.
Dude, she's 6'3".
She's 6'3", and they do not hide from it. And they show it at every camera angle. And she kind of has that brazen shoulders back, and she's trying to figure out. She's a loving mother, and she's trying to figure out how to survive in this world. And it's absolutely incredible. And if I may go to the next category, which you kind of
one second. I want to connect to as well. Also for all my MCU fans out there, that's Aisha from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And you mentioned Kat as well. And we talked about Neil. So can I introduce a theory here?
Yes.
All right. So the theory is that Max is a younger version of Neil.
I saw that.
That's a theory. I can't really talk too much on it intelligently. I'll allow the listener to find their own way with that. As I do in most Nolan movies, you got to find your own path with it. But Max is short for Maximilian. And if you invert Maximilian, the French pronunciation of it, or the French spelling of it, the last 4 words are Lien, And if you flip that, it's Neil for Neil. So
Wow. That's worth really considering. That's some good content right there. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. So for everybody out there, go take a look at it. And I'm going to have a theory here in a little bit later how that actually ties together. But I'll wait to that for the last call category.
That's incredible.
Yeah, for sure. But please continue to the next category, my friend.
Outstanding feature scene. It's Cat. You kind of said how they bring it back earlier when now he looks into Sator's eyes and now you see Majin Vegeta. Yeah, she's pissed off now. Look at my eyes. Which do you see, despair or anger? I'm not the woman who could find love for you, even though you scarred her on the inside. I'm the vengeful bitch you scarred on the outside. Great line, great delivery, the great accepting of her journey to get here,
Mhm.
and then she just becomes an absolute badass in that moment.
Then she
Incredible.
delivers a kill shot.
And she delivers
Also,
the kill shot.
his body getting thrown over, like she's
Oh, like,
the entire time with
yeah,
the oil slicked him down,
yeah,
and then he fell. He hit a pole with his body and
yeah.
then flipped around too as well.
Yep,
And then they recovered the body
yep,
and got up out of there.
yep. Then dies off the boat, just absolutely like Halle Berry and Dying of the Day style, just a dive.
Yeah, and then her younger self sees that and references that in the movie too as
Yep,
well. So
yep, yep.
it's a complete mind fuck. For me, my
You think
best.
that's you think that's like a underneath the surface, like you're younger, like seeing yourself as what you could be? You think that's something Christopher Nolan's trying to get at to us, the audience in this movie? Because he always talks to the audience in different ways, as we'll get into as we can see in this
It
part.
seems like you could be a better version of yourself, or
Yeah, like the better version, the complete version of who you are.
oh, for sure. I mean, producers like or movie makers like him that have like Charlie Brooker, minds like Steven Spielberg's. There's always something that George Lucas is. There's always something they're trying to say with their work, but the great ones do it with subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Subtle. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
do it like slapping your face. Here it is. The great ones they know how to not make that hand so heavy, but they're still saying something without saying anything at all.
Yeah, I think Donald Glover said actually, he doesn't like when like TV shows try to teach him something. So that goes to more your like subtle. They do it in a very subtle manner. It's there, but it's not in your face.
It's left for the interpretation of the viewer.
Exactly, that's it.
So, and I'm all fine with that because from movies, art is subjective. So everyone take away what they see from that. Like the theories that I'm presenting aren't theories that I may even believe, but it's out there for the listener to take that and run with it and see how they see if they can make sense of it. Yeah. And also movie makers love that shit when it makes a movie live on longer.
Absolutely.
There's more clues and things you can find. For me, best outstanding feature scene was when Andre and the protagonist were talking to each other after the protagonist had saved him. And they sit down for the vodka. I owe you. You owe me nothing. No, I don't like owing nobody. Then pay me. And then they start talking, and they get to the point where Andre's telling him about how he actually claimed, how he actually became Andre, where he was pretty much digging in areas where with the radiation was really bad at. The city 12. It skips my mind for the time being. Somebody's screaming at me, but I apologize. So, and then they see that there was a contract that was there too as well. It was sent to him because he was pretty much you could say he was like a chosen one of sorts.
Yeah.
And I want to get to something else here before I get it back here to what I was just talking about. The people that sent it back, it's not really implied in this movie, but they're humans from the future that their world has came to an end, or the world is ending. They're trying their best to save themselves by going back in the past and trying to change things. And in some ways, Andre could be looked at as a messiah of sorts. If you really want to make that correlation, like he's there to save them from themselves. Now, what that themselves is, it's somewhat implied in the movie that it could be global warming, but it's not actually said. Like we say, like Nolan, he's not here to pass messages like don't fuck up the planet. Also, here's Tenet. Like he's not doing that. that's not what he's doing. So back to it, and he's talking back to Andre and the protagonist talking here. He's talking how he's take this claim and Mother Russia show him with a shovel, smacking, killing the other guy in the head. You see, accepting the contract, he gets the gold. That's a key scene for me too, as well. That it explains a lot of the future, the past, and the present of the movie. And the way Andre delivered that entire scene from getting rescued by the protagonist to the protagonist walking out of that room was absolutely fantastic. So
we like villains on this pop period, but a thing a villain needs is a origin story that makes sense how you got here.
exactly.
I need the Harvey Dent into Two-Face to understand what makes your complexity the way it is, and that scene delivers it perfectly. You got a kid at war, Russia, ground zero for a nuclear test. He knows this radiation is lethal. He's probably gonna die anyway. He knows
Yes,
this.
suit on all that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a suit on, but you know, man, you're gonna die. And then he comes across this Willy Wonka golden contract, and at that point, he's out for his survival into death somehow. And if I can't have you, no one can. Was such a great line in this movie that it makes sense. This the complexity of this character that he even refers to himself as a god in the scene, and the protagonist is like, "Bitch, you crazy? What you talking about?"
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like he could be seen someone as a false messiah.
Yeah.
Also, the radiation from those early scenes could be linked to his pancreatic cancer.
Right. Exactly.
From later on in the movie too, as well.
Yeah.
Easy. What's your best supporting line? Let me go first. My best supporting line. You sent me.
Hate you.
It's so when Neil delivers that line to the protagonist after their final battle is over, and Seder 12. No, Seder 12. God damn, I need to look it up what the city's called. Seder's Andre's last name. I'll get it back. In the city 12. I'll just call it that for now. He delivers that line, and you're like, oh shit. The entire time, he's living in the past and the future, going back and forth. Neil is, and he's already met our protagonist because the protagonist actually founded the program in the first place. But we're actually, like you say, a villain needs an origin story. So does a hero.
So does a hero.
Or a protagonist.
Yeah.
Or witnessing the origin story. And in some ways, you're witnessing the sequel too in the movie.
And at that point, you realize it's a temporal shift, the whole movie. Or
exactly.
Pincer, excuse me, not a shift, a pincer. I have the direct quote if you want it.
Please, deliver
it. That was my pick.
Bro?
Yeah, as he's walking away, the protagonist, hey, you never did tell me who recruited you, Neil. Because remember, the protagonist doesn't know throughout the movie. He's like, how do you know this? How do you know the X, Y, Z?
How are you so far ahead?
He is like pissed off throughout. Hey, you never did tell me who recruited you, Neil. And this is Neil, like with the soda, the smile, the grimace. He likes being the smartest in the room. Haven't you guessed by now? You did. Only not when you thought. You have a feature in the past. Years ago for me. Years from now for you. And at this point, the protagonist is like crying. Like he's dropping tears, right? I mean, it's a beautiful scene. And then I'll use another quote. For me, I think this is the end of a beautiful friendship. And then the protagonist, but for me, it's just the beginning. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that because we're seeing the beginning and the end of something too as well. So in a lot of movies, you don't get to see things like that. So how do you? That's what I'm saying. When you saying like I like it, but I don't. But I don't know if I like it or not. Is that confusing because it's introducing something brand new that is not really seen in a lot of movies?
That's a really good point. And the first time you watch it, you can tell it's a heartfelt scene, and they're stringing on the heart a little bit. You are a little confused though. You're like, I just saw a building blow up from reverse. I don't know what's going on in this movie. A great action scene, by the way, when they shoot the top, the bottom, then the top of the building. Absolutely, like what the fuck is going on? But first time you're a little confused, and as you watch it more, you kind of understand it, and now you can really let that emotion, that scene, just sit for what it is, and just let the emotion take over. It's a great scene.
This movie requires multiple viewings.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Let's get to the score. What is your best soundtrack moment?
It's kind of tough. There's not really a lot of songs here. This isn't like Wolf of Wall Street with like 12 different records.
Right.
I don't know the names of the score, but the score itself is absolutely phenomenal. All the scores. I loved every piece of it.
For me, I want to say something a little bit different here. Because I got a Stoss 12. That was the name of the the location of on the city. Oh, pause right here. I'm gonna cut this out. I gotta take this phone call though.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to it. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So this is what I want to say here. The score. I don't know who mastered this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But your levels are all over the motherfucking place. Remember I said earlier that the dock scene when the protagonist
Yes.
we talked about that. When he gets on the boat, it gets so fucking loud.
Yeah.
And it comes out of nowhere for no reason. Him in the speedboat zooming off. I'm like, oh my God, let me turn this thing down before I lose my eardrums. There's other parts of the movie too as well. Beginning, the opera scene, the mask. They got the gas masks on.
Mhm.
And they're actually talking through the gas mask, but it's not movie quality. It's just them talking through the gas mask with a camera on their face.
Mhm.
Didn't like that at all. Another boat scene too as well when Andre protagonist had on the headsets. You hear him for a little bit. They're talking through the like a walkie-talkie God, what's the word I'm looking for? Effect. And then like 5 seconds later, they're just talking like it's normal. Like the levels of this movie just, and I think the walkie-talkie effect was cool just because they're talking to the headset, but it's just all over the place. It's loud in places and it's quiet and it gets loud and quiet. And it's just at wild and weird times. And I remember when I first read this too as well, because I read this even before the movie, before I watched it. Now it's like, all right, whatever. You know, just people on the internet just bitching.
Mhm.
Nah, they was right. They was right. I was like, God damn.
That's a Christopher Nolan thing.
I think this one was worse. His other movies, I think all Interstellar has some parts too as well.
Mhm.
That all right, a little Interstellar spoiler. The beginning scene where he's taking off and it's like super loud,
Mhm.
and then he's like real quiet, and then also, and I have no problem with that, but it's like abnormally loud. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't need to be this. Like this is ridiculous. And another scene in Interstellar where it's where he goes to the base, NORAD, and then the machine pops out of nowhere and starts interrogating them. Like it's just like I don't need jump scares in movies like this. Just the story's so good. I don't need that extra.
Yeah.
Leave that for like Wes Craven or a horror guy,
Yeah.
Eli Roth, guys like that.
No, I think there's a valid complaint to the action scenes are so loud that you can't hear the dialogue.
And that too as well. Yeah.
That too as well. The first time you do the opera house, you're like, what? But you're like, they have masks on. I guess it makes some sense. But as you continue the movie, you're like, wait, what? Huh? What is going on? And Christopher Nolan says you don't have to hear it. You could like feel the dialogue through body language, a la Dark Knight Rises. If you remember Bane's voice in the trailer, the original, that was a big deal. And people were like, yo, I can't hear what Bane is trying to say. This man saying those survivors, I can't hear that. What do you mean? So having said that, I think sometimes you can try to we like sports. You and I, we have a sports pod as well. And we see that coaches can try to outsmart themselves. This feels like, people like to be able to hear the dialogue. I shouldn't have to put closed captioning on. That is a very valid complaint.
Yeah, that's I had to do that in several parts of the movie. I was like, all right, I just need to put on. I feel like I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, the straight from Japan. Like I gotta read this shit. Like I don't want to do this. I want to enjoy the movie.
Yeah. And even in Dunkirk, no spoilers, but in Dunkirk when they're in the fighter jets, it's hard to hear them there.
Mm-hmm.
So also Tom Hardy wearing a mask again, but I was like, what did he say? Huh? And so at first you think it's like your movie theater or your TV, and then you're like, nah, everyone's dealing with this, like you said. So I think it's a really valid complaint. I should not have to watch closed captioning to a language I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not doing that for the English language. Anything else, I'm all for it. My language, come on, baby. Work with me.
It just seems a little too. And then we're gonna look back like 10 years from like, yeah, what were you thinking? Like, I don't get this. He's such a brilliant director, but yeah, I think that's a really valid complaint in all his movies.
I mean, honestly, let's talk about Batman here a second. The Batman voice.
That too.
Wait a second. He wants us all a citizen.
Yeah, even so, that College Humor has all those parody YouTube videos. It's a valid complaint, and
Where's the child? They're all so cool.
man,
Like, I don't know, dude. Like,
yeah, I don't know, not necessary.
yeah, just give us the story is good, the camera's amazing, the acting is fantastic. Just don't fuck up the audio. All right, please.
Yeah, please.
All right. Speaking of audio, what record is the TENET theme song?
Oh, I have an album, and it's pretty easy, by the way. Kendrick Lamar, damn. I mean,
Ooh.
what else can you say? You got the album front, then you got the special edition where they put it backwards, Duckworth. When the album rewinds, spoiler alert, it's too late. If you have, it's been out for 3 years. That's your problem if you haven't heard it already. But the album Duckworth, and then the whole record plays in reverse, and you realize, whoa, Kendrick Lamar, damn,
That is fucking tastic.
red, blue, yeah,
Especially the backwards version of it. What's the backwards is called what? Nation?
Well, supposedly that was the second album. It's just a collector's edition or something.
Damnation was supposed to be like the full name of that album. And
so we think.
yeah, and then I've seen the backwards version. It's called Nation. I've seen that. So, dude, that is great. I have a song here, and I think yours is better though, but I'm gonna go with mine, of course, anyway. Jay-Z, on to the next one. I think everything about that record just matches up with what's going on in this movie, and primarily with Neil. That the man just keeps bouncing around from inverted to the normal world to inverted to the normal world. He's just on to the next, even the end of it. And if you notice at the end, at that end scene, he saw himself, he saw his fate, he saw where he died at, where he was a soldier with the blue patch on the ground that took the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That was Neil. And he knew that where he was headed to. Remember at the end, he said that the blue team was like, I'll catch with them sometime soon. Mm-hmm. That was him going back again to put the patch on to go back through there. And I thought on to the next one, just everything about that record. It just went to with his story so well. And I'm a fan of Jay-Z, the black and white too as well, which is also inverted of color. So with the music video. So that was me.
Yep. Real quick, that album was the collector's edition, the reverse. The rumor was the second album was called Nation, but we never got it yet.
It's out there. It's somewhere on Dr. Dre's hard drive.
But never be released.
Of course, with Detox too as well.
Come on, man. Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Last call, baby. What is your iconic Kodak moment of this movie?
That's a really good question, because it's a tough question, because we did Die Hard. It's so obvious, right? It's him in the air duct. Because that movie's had time. This movie just came out,
right?
To have that iconic Kodak moment, that's tough. That's real tough. If it's anything, I think it's that last scene with Neil looking back. Like we said, I don't really have one yet. I think I need more time.
I have two, but like I said, the movie needs to age to have a iconic moment. Right. But I still have two that I think that would that you see, they'd be like, oh, Tenet. That's the way I look at it. John David Washington, we saw on the train tracks and his eyes all fucked up.
Great one.
In the chair. Yeah, I got that one. And a picture of both Neil and the protagonist bungee jumping on the building.
That's such a great scene. What's crazy about that scene? That's a good one though. That is in the trailer. But like, this movie is so action packed, like it's almost an afterthought. And then you watch it again, you're like, oh shit, this scene right here. They're about to fucking bungee jump up 70 stories. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like, once again, it's things you haven't seen in movies. All right, this next question is a little bit hard, but we have to ask this regardless. Or we'll ask like this: how do you think this movie will age?
I think it'll age really, really well. Inception had similar response when it first came out.
It's got legs. It's got legs. Inception has legs. Yeah,
but a lot of people hated it. And I think very similar to Inception, people will love it or they'll hate it. People say it's not for me, or there are people who are going to watch this movie religiously. It'll become a tradition. For me, I like every time I watch it, I learn something new. It's unique. There's no other movie like this. I think it'll be like Inception. I think it'll be divisive, but those who love it really, really love it.
I think that I feel that this fits in so nicely with Nolan's movies that it's like a Tarantino movie. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't just watch one. You watch a couple if you're on a binge of Tarantino, or if you like watch Pulp Fiction. Like, damn, I kind of want to watch Django, or maybe put on Reservoir Dogs. Like, you can just get in that mode right there.
Right,
You
right,
got
right.
your certain, your vice with you, whether you're smoking, you're drinking, you're just in the mood. Maybe it's cold outside, too cold to go anywhere. It's rainy outside. Maybe it's just too damn hot. All right, I just want
Yeah.
to sit inside. I just want to watch movies all day. I'm off work. I ain't really got nothing else to do. You kind of go with these movies. Like, if I'm watching Inception, I'm like, you know what? I kind of watch another Nolan movie.
Right.
Maybe I'll put on Batman. Maybe I'll put on Memento. Maybe I'll put on The Prestige. So it fits in so nicely with this work. And Nolan hasn't missed for me at all. I haven't seen one miss. If he has a miss, please let me know. I haven't came across it.
No.
It just fits so nicely in that world that it's going to age along with those movies. Now, ranking those, that's a different story. But
Right.
it fits in nicely with that. Would you
Absolutely.
want
That's a
to?
great point.
Yeah. Would you want a sequel?
Yes, absolutely. I think, and I would love a sequel. We talked about the Django Pod. We talked about the theory of the Tarantino universe, how some movies, well, not even a theory, but that some movies are in the same timeline.
Right.
I would love an Inception Tenet sequel. Would absolutely love it because I think those two movies would play exceptionally fucking well.
Well, dude, I got something for you. There's a rumor or another theory that Interstellar is actually the sequel to Tenet. So think about it.
That makes sense.
In,
Yeah.
in Tenet, they're having problems with the Earth.
Right.
The future humans are.
Right.
They don't know
Right.
how
Right.
to
Right.
solve it. In Interstellar, there's two things they did. One was a scientist that sent things back in time, and then she offed herself. But we'll see the other side of Interstellar too, as well. That Tenet scene that he
Right.
talked about is actually in Interstellar somewhere. But Interstellar is also the part where the Earth is fucked up. We got to leave this planet. There's two ways of thinking. Like, we can save by inverting and going back in time, or we can save it by pushing ourselves through time to different planets. So that's a theory.
That's interesting. Let me
It
ask you
is.
this. That is really interesting. I like that because
Both of them deal with global warming. If you really read between the lines, they're
yeah,
both global warming dystopias.
yeah, it's preluded. That makes a lot of sense actually. Because I was thinking more from an action point of view.
Right.
I was thinking in Inception, the elevator scene or where they're fighting in the hallway, a la like the Matrix with
Oh,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt and like Tenet. But from a storyline plot point of view, Interstellar and Tenet do make a lot of sense. But I don't
because
know about from an action point of view.
no action, no. But the thing is that the world is the Nolan verse. It's a
Yeah,
universe. So
that's
right
true.
now, me you doing the podcast somewhere else in the world, this bullet's being traded left and right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this can be
You
a
might be
thing.
throwing hands. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The I have an Inception master spoiler for Inception here.
Please.
That a theory that Maul was trying to save Cobb, Leo's character, in Inception throughout. So how would you like that point of view with like Tenet, where now the protagonist goes into a dream state and tries to save like Leo or something of that nature? I think it'd be incredible.
Oh, dude. At some point, if Nolan ever got his characters together, and imagine he did all that, and somehow he did it with based off the timeline of some movies. Like, I don't think Tenet and Interstellar could be in the same verse, but Inception and Tenet could be in the same verse.
That's what I yeah.
Yeah, they could be in the same at the same time. But imagine that, and he had like maybe like a scene with Batman too as well somewhere in there.
Imagine the totem spoiler. Imagine the totem being like the key to the Tenet like cipher. It's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And then the new movie from black to white, and we see the protagonist just swipe the Tatum totem. Excuse me.
Also, you can look at Memento too as well. Like
Oh yeah.
the dude, I forgot his name too as well. It's not. Oh God, I won't even say it. I forget off the top of the head.
I'll
But
find it for you.
he could be like an agent from Tenet that maybe got like his head fucked up from a mission, and now everything with him, all he remembers is things going like in reverse. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
make sure he remembers things because he knows
Yeah.
of his condition. Like, it's so many ways you can layer that shit. But I'll leave that to Nolan. Now, I do have an idea for a direct sequel to Tenet.
Oh, let's discuss.
So remember the end. Neil said this is the
Mhm.
beginning of the end for us.
Yeah.
Now let's say that an older protagonist
Yeah,
met a younger Neil.
I'd watch that.
Now let's say this older protagonist is Denzel Washington, John David Washington's father.
Ain't he gonna be like, like Lethal Weapon? I'm too old for this shit.
But it'd be like him.
Like
He'll
David.
play. He'll be the older protagonist, Denzel Washington, and you can have like some young dude. Like you ever see Umbrella Academy?
I'm aware of what you're speaking of. Yeah,
Yeah, the kid from there.
yeah,
He could be like a younger version of Neil,
that could work.
or just something of the sort. And it doesn't have to be those particular actors. This is what I had in mind, but that could be like a sequel of how they actually came to be because of the theories that Max Cat's kid is Neil in the future. You would need somehow that there'd be some kind of middle ground between that, or it could just be Robert Pattinson again with Denzel Washington, and I'll watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, you know, Christopher Nolan can get a cast. I'd watch anything, any of the things he just said. I'll co-sign to.
Denzel Washington in a Christopher Nolan movie.
That'd be great. I wish
Mm.
Denzel played more villain roles. By the way,
I wish he played. Oh God, dude, I want to see Denzel be. I don't like the little things are coming up.
yeah, yeah,
I want to see. I just want to see something different from Denzel. I don't want to see Man on Fire or Deja Vu Denzel. I want to see something. I want to see something more because it's Denzel. He's such a great actor. I need it. I just want to see more of that. Now I say we haven't seen it, but I just want to get back to him being a chameleon. I know Fences came out too as well. I'm aware of that, but I want to see more Denzel playing. He had Roman J Esquire movie too as well. But when it comes to action movies, like what the little things seem to be, I would like to see him in like a different role, but playing the villain too as well.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I'd watch anything you just said. I'm down.
Yeah, for sure. That's all. I mean, that's everything, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not ready to rank this movie amongst Nolanverse movies at all. So, are you there?
I'll get my estimate.
What you got?
I'll definitely go Dark Knight. Depending where you like Inception, that Inception is going to be the wild card. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'll go Dark Knight, Inception. It's tough. It's tough, man. Prestige, Batman Begins, Tenet might be Interstellar. Fuck. Tenet maybe fourth, fifth, somewhere around there. I don't think it's going to be in his top three because I think it's a little too divisive. But I can see like 4 to 5 range. But that's not a knock. Like the dude's catalog is incredible. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
which Tom Brady ring is the best? I don't know. Fuck. Like take your pick.
Like Tarantino, the fourth, the fifth
Yeah.
best Tarantino movie is better than a lot of people's.
Best. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. It's tough. I don't know. That's a really good pod. Just in ranking Nolan movies. I feel like I forgot one. I really love The Prestige a lot. A lot.
Memento is out there too as well.
Memento's exceptional as well.
I mean, the man's got so many. We're not even listening. There's some more movies too as well.
Yeah. It could be last just because that's how great his catalog is.
It could be.
I got problems with Dark Knight Rises, but even then, it's still entertaining.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. It's a podcast for a different day.
I mean, if I'm flipping through channels and it's on like TNT playing for like the 200th time, I'll probably watch it for the 200th time. Like I still watch it. It's still entertaining, but it's not up to par with me with some of the other ones.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Who knows? That may be, if that's his worst movie.
That's pretty damn good.
I mean, honestly,
pretty damn good.
And I enjoyed the movie too as well.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. What would you want next out of a Christopher Nolan movie?
We've seen space. We've got time.
Wow. You just kind of
Yeah, we've gotten the dream sequence too as well. We've gotten superhero. We've gotten I mean shit, you can even argue we've gotten mental health with Memento.
Yeah.
The Prestige, how would you describe that genre?
Sci-fi. Just a little bit of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Magic,
So
yeah.
maybe a history piece.
Dunkirk?
Wow,
I forgot about Dunkirk in our rankings. Yeah, Dunkirk is really good.
Fuck.
I forgot about Dunkirk. Shit, until you bought it. By the way, Dunkirk's got to be up there, which I really enjoy as well.
What genre has he really gave it? A biography? But I don't really
I don't
want that
want
for
that.
Nolan.
No,
That puts Nolan too much in the box. Like I
yeah, I
want
don't want
Nolan to
that.
be free.
Would you want him to be the next James Bond director? That's what some people want. British director, obviously, a lot of parallels there.
That puts him too much in this. Like he has to tell a certain story with
Well, I
James.
mean, he did it with Batman.
But his Batman was different.
Well, his James Bond could be different.
That's true too as well. That's very true.
If you think about it, like Batman Begins and Casino Royale really changed like the genre of movies more to a darker role. Both of those at the same time, and both of those cited Casino Royale actually cited Batman Begins as a big reason for the shift into more darker roles movies.
It gave a lot more realism.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, what hasn't Nolan done? He's gave you like literally like every single. I mean, also a space, also Interstellar, of course, sci-fi too as well. I like this.
Oh, of course, Interstellar.
Oh fuck, dude. I just want maybe a mashup of movies. Like maybe you could combine two different genres together and do something. And I don't even know what those two genres would be. Maybe has Christopher Nolan ever done a Western?
No. You want Django Unchained too? You want the sequel?
hey, a Christopher Nolan Western would probably be you'll watch it.
Oh, I'd watch anything.
But I mean, that's one thing that I don't think he's let's see, Christopher Nolan Western movie. I should make sure I'm not talking about ass
so.
here. Is he going to ever direct a Western? No, yeah, he doesn't have a Western. That I don't even know how.
Well, you know, but hey, his brother Christopher Nolan, who does a lot of the screenwriting for, not Chris, Jonathan Nolan, I think for Christopher Westworld.
He does. That's
he does
true.
Westworld. So there you go. You want your Western? There it is.
Yeah, but that's not him though.
It's really, really good. Westworld is excellent.
Let's see, Memento, Batman Begins, Prestige, Dark Knight. He wrote Man of Steel. He was a writer on Man of Steel. Christopher Nolan. Dude, he's pretty much like hit everything as far as movies go.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Man, I don't know what he could do next, but I mean, he's I mean, whatever he does, I don't care if he does. I don't care if he gets into a space movie. Like he could do anything. But I would like to see him to maybe a crime film. Has he done a crime film?
Like a detective style?
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, I haven't seen that. That'd be pretty dope.
Batman. I mean,
like Sin City style.
Yeah, something like that. A dark comedy. Is that really Nolan?
No comedy.
A horror movie.
He'd probably be great at it.
Dude, a Nolan horror movie. That sounds actually pretty fucking good.
I'm pretty scared actually thinking about that. Yeah.
A romance. A romantic.
I watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I watch it.
Give me a romantic Western by Christopher Nolan. Nah, honestly, give me a horror movie. Horror.
It's pretty good actually. With his ability to build suspense, that's not bad.
Yeah, and not to mention the level of actors he can get in there too as well.
Yeah.
That'd be some Stanley Kubrick type shit.
Give me James Bond. I doubt it happens, but I still want it.
You want Bond? I want horror.
There you go.
All right, we'll see. All right, my friend, let's get out of here. We got Admissible Sports on that'll be out. We'll do that Sunday night, so that'll be out for a Monday release.
Yep. Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully it's a quarterback movement too as well.
Yeah.
And we can tell our thoughts about the Texas new coach.
I'll save that.
Till next time, my friend.
All right, man.
All right, one.